I started learning Rambam in 2022, about 3 years ago, and Rabbi Yossi Pelz from Chayenu had told me that learning Rambam was a big segula for a lot of things, and that the Rebbe had promised all sorts of Yeshuas and other things associated with the learning of Rambam. At the time, I was going through a very challenging time, dealing with a legal issue. I started learning Perek Echad. There is a shliach that I'm very close with, him and his wife, and very involved with them and their maisid. And he told me an amazing story actually last week, because we were talking about learning Rambam and the Siyum's coming up. First, he sent me a video. They put out a video with a few different shluchim who are talking about how taking on the learning of Rambam, one guy had chayvus, he owed a lot of money, another guy had a heart issue. They took on to learn Rambam, they saw resolution to those issues very quickly. This shliach, who him and his wife, the one I'm close with, they sent me this video to watch. I watched the video, and then they called me after and they said, we had a big rent payment due, and we did not have the money in the account. They didn't know where they were going to get that money from. They said that there's a family member of theirs who's going through a bit of a health issue. The wife of the shliach basically said that, she said, I want to take some achlata to benefit in zchus of my family member who's having a health issue. So she said, I'm going to start learning Rambam every day. She made achlata, she started learning Rambam every day. So that night, around midnight, a guy who they hadn't seen in a while shows up at the Chabad house, and he says, I have a check for your wife. Your wife, years ago, I told your wife that if she found a shidduch for my son, I would pay shadchanis. And she made an introduction, which led to the shidduch. My son ended up getting married, and I just remembered I never paid the shadchanis. So I brought a check for your wife. He had the check made out to the name of the shliach, exactly the dollar amount that was missing from the account that was needed to pay off that big rent payment. And the check wasn't to the maisid, the check wasn't to the husband, it was to the wife, the one who had taken upon herself to start learning Rambam. We believe that everything, all of our parnasa comes from the Eibishter. Any success we have comes from the Eibishter. If the Rebbe told us that learning Rambam brings big brachas in every area, so if I take 30 minutes out of my day or 20 minutes, whatever it is, to learn Rambam, do I really believe that the Eibishter is going to penalize me or punish me? I'm going to make less parnasa than I was supposed to make because I took time to do Rambam, or I took time out of my day to fulfill that? And I think the answer, definitely no. You are not going to be penalized. I would say the opposite. You will be blessed, and it should be moisef to whatever you're supposed to make, whatever you are going to make. I'm sure that taking Rambam on only adds to that and will only make you more matzliach in your business.